Hey guys, this is Spartacus here and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about if Call of Duty is improving. And I'm just saying Call of Duty in general. I'm not talking about a certain developer who's making a Call of Duty game. I'm not talking about a certain Call of Duty game in general like Infinite Warfare or Modern Warfare Remastered and all that kind of stuff. Just Call of Duty in general. Like every single year when we come out with a new Call of Duty game, is it better than the last one? Something of that nature, right? So yeah, is it improving? Personally, I think it is. I really do believe that Call of Duty is definitely improving. Now, back in Call of Duty Ghosts, a lot of people kind of left Call of Duty because they're like, what the hell is this game? And people just left Call of Duty Ghosts. No one really liked that game, which is kind of funny because I personally like the game. I really like the theme of it, but a lot of people didn't actually like Call of Duty Ghosts, and it's a little bit disappointing, but that's okay, Like, we're past Call of Duty Ghosts now, and Call of Duty has definitely have been improving ever since, and we're starting to get community back into it, which is really, really good because there's a community out there where every single year you always hear people saying, oh, I'm done with Call of Duty. Call of Duty sucks now. I'm gonna go be a Battlefield player and all that kind of stuff. It's like every year you always hear that, but do those players actually go and play Battlefield? Some of them might. I mean, if there's people out there who are like, let's see, I mean, I don't know any names, but like YouTubers, the YouTubers who are like make Call of Duty's channel, they've been playing Call of Duty like forever, and they've made their channel for 4 years, and all their videos are Call of Duty, but then all of a sudden they start playing Battlefield, and all they have is Battlefield content. What the heck's gonna happen to their fans, right? Like, seriously, people like those just like kind of ridiculous, and you always see in the comments people are saying, oh no, Call of Duty is dead, we're done with it, and I think most of those people are bandwagoners. In all honesty, it's so true. Most of those people are bandwagoners, which is kind of sad in all honesty, because I've always spoken the real truth, and I always will speak the truth, that I would love Call of Duty, and I'm going to continue playing it until they do something absolutely horrendous to actually make me not play the game anymore, because so far they haven't done anything absolutely horrendous to make me just quit it. I mean, really, there honestly has not been anything completely ridiculous that they've done to make me actually quit the full series. But Call of Duty is improving, and there's a lot of different things I can say why it's improving, but here are some few reasons why I actually think Call of Duty is actually improving, in my opinion. So, yeah, first of all, they're updating the game a lot. I mean, yeah, they tweak guns, they nerf some guns, they buff some guns, maybe they change around some perks and score streaks, or who knows, right? They're always updating their games, but it's not just like that. They're also adding in different game modes all the time, like especially this year for Call of Duty, This year we actually have 2 Call of Duty games. We have a remastered Call of Duty game, which is definitely a good step in the right direction, in my opinion, but there's actually a reason why that's not a good step, but I'll talk about that later. So anyway, like, they're updating game modes, like they're in Infinite Warfare. We're always having these different game modes, like Cranked, Epic Gun Game. We've seen that, like, I think twice or something. The game mode Reinforced, Demolition. We've had like these different game modes, right? We have had different game modes coming into Infinite Warfare like every 2 weeks, something like that. I don't really know. Drop Zone, that's another game mode. But with Modern Warfare Remastered, we've also had the same thing. They literally have something every weekend called Weekend Warfare, and in that Weekend Warfare playlist, there's this new game mode. Every single weekend, there is a new game mode in Modern Warfare Remastered for the community to play. Last weekend, we had this game mode called Slasher, which is a Michael Myers game mode, and believe it or not, guys, that was a game mode that was actually made up back in the original COD 4 game. It was just something that the community played in custom games and stuff like that. It was a very popular game mode that people just made up themselves, and then the developers themselves actually made it a real game mode, and they made it for a Weekend Warfare in the playlist just over the weekend, and there was more people in that playlist than like Search and Destroy and stuff like that, which is absolutely insane. And like this weekend, we're having something called Prop Hunt, which was also a game mode that the community made up back in COD 4, but it was actually a mod back in COD 4, then it was like something you couldn't actually do in custom games. But Prop Hunt, in case you guys don't know, you're actually an actual object on the map, and you can move yourself into you can make yourself any type of object or something like that. I don't really know how it's going to work in the Modern Warfare Remastered playlist, but that's so cool how we're having it this week, and I really love how they're implementing that. Like, they're adding these different game modes every single weekend, Infinite, and not just Infinite Warfare, but also Modern Warfare Remastered. Like, they're always trying to entertain the community, which is very, very good. Now, another thing I like to mention is that we started getting DLC weapons ever since Black Ops 2. In case you guys didn't know, the very first DLC weapon was called the Peacekeeper in Black Ops 2, and it came out in the very first map pack, which I cannot remember. I think it started with the letter R. Maybe it was called Revolution. I don't remember. But the Peacekeeper was the first DLC weapon ever added to a Call of Duty series. And then in Call of Duty Ghosts, we got a couple DLC weapons. We got ourselves a Maverick, and there's actually two Maverick guns. There was a Maverick assault rifle and a Maverick sniper rifle, which is kind of interesting. But then we also got a Ripper submachine gun, which was a hybrid between a submachine gun and an assault rifle, which was pretty cool. Very, very popular gun, and it made its way into Infinite Warfare as a gun variant for the PR. I can't remember the name of that gun, RPR or something like that. But anyway, that's pretty cool, you know. And Infinite Warfare, you know. Actually, before I talk about Infinite Warfare, let me talk about Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 DLC weapons honestly was a terrible step in the direction. The same thing with Advanced Warfare, where now that we have supply drops into the Call of Duty series, which became a huge problem because they would add these weapons into supply drops, and the only way to actually get the weapons was by getting lucky by opening up a supply drop, which is completely ridiculous. That should not ever be the case, ever. No one agrees with that, and I don't know why they continue to do that. Except for Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered, they did kind of improve that in a way with the idea of parts and salvage, because with parts and salvage, you can actually buy things that you want from those supply drops. So for Infinite Warfare, for example, what you do with salvage is that you can actually purchase gun variants that you want. So you don't have to worry about just opening up a supply drop and hoping that you get the gun you want. You can actually save up your parts or save up your salvage in Infinite Warfare and buy the actual variant you want, which is pretty nice. I really like how they did that, and it's the same thing with Modern Warfare Remastered. Once they add supply drops into that game, sadly, I can't believe they actually did that, but when they added supply drops into Modern Warfare Remastered, they eventually added weapons into supply drops, but there are ways to actually earn those weapons without opening up supply drops. You just gotta earn yourself some parts, and then you have to complete a collection to actually earn that weapon. That's how it goes. I mean, I don't play Modern Warfare Remastered that much, but that's really how the supply drop system works. So yeah, Black Ops 3 did a terrible job with the whole DLC weapon thing, that the only way you can earn them was through supply drops. Until this day, they're updating Black Ops 3 still to this day, even though it's the last year's Call of Duty game, and they're adding weapons to the game, but the only way to get them is through supply drops, which is completely ridiculous, because there's no one's going to go back there and totally grind for those weapons. I mean, yeah, there might be a few people that might go ahead and grind for those new weapons, but seriously, it's completely ridiculous. Oh god, I don't know what Treyarch was thinking when they added those weapons supply drops, but in Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered, they definitely went the step in the right direction when it came to supply drops, but it's still kind of a little bit of an unfair system. I mean, people still don't like the idea of weapons and supply drops in general, you know. Supply drops has kind of ruined it for people a little bit, but, you know, they are going the step in the right direction with supply drops, so they are making it a little bit of a better system, which is, of course, always a good thing. Another thing that I think they're improving on is the idea of dark matter, and when I say dark matter, I'm talking about dark matter camo in Black Ops 3, also known as Black Sky in Infinite Warfare, and Exclusion Zone camo in Modern Warfare Remastered. So the idea of those camos is that the only way to earn them is to actually earn every single camo throughout every single weapon in the game, which is pretty hard challenge to complete, you know. I've actually earned myself dark matter camo in Black Ops 3, and holy crap, you guys, that was not an easy task at all. It will hurt your KD. If you're one of those people who wants to have a high KD, I'm just going to tell you right now, you're not going to get a high KD if you want to earn those camos. Oh my goodness, super, super difficult. The one thing I do really like about it is that it adds a new kind of challenge to the game. It makes the players actually use every single gun in the game, because in case you guys don't know, and maybe you're one of the people and you just don't even realize it, there's people out there who only use the same two guns the entire freaking time they play multiplayer, and it's just completely ridiculous. I hate people like that. For example, people who played Advanced Warfare, there was so many people, probably 98% of the player base in Advanced Warfare would only use the Battle 27 and ASM-1. Oh my goodness, I got to 30th prestige in that game, and I was really pissed off every time I died from those weapons because they were so overpowered. Oh, the weapon balance in that game was absolutely horrible, but good thing now that the weapon balance is starting to get better, which is really, really good. But seriously though, you guys, the idea of dark matter is so cool. The idea of dark matter, I just love the idea. I mean, I earned myself dark matter in Black Ops 3, and it felt so good getting it. I felt like I accomplished so much. I felt like I was God. I don't know. It just felt really, really good. I really think that's a good step in the right direction. Also, I want to talk about Modern Warfare Remastered. Modern Warfare Remastered is the very first Call of Duty game that's actually ever been remastered. So now we're starting to get in that time where these Call of Duty games are starting to get remastered. You know, next year, so far we do not know if we're actually going to get a remastered Call of Duty game. A lot of people might actually think we're going to get a remastered World at War game, because World at War came after Call of Duty 4 back in the day, and so they're thinking they're going to start going every single year. We're going to also get a remastered Call of Duty game. I really hope that's not the case, in all honesty. I like how they added a remastered Call of Duty game this year, but they also came out with a new Call of Duty game this year, so I can't play both games. I mean, yeah, I can play both of them, but I want to like focus one game at a time, you know. Right now I'm only focusing on Infinite Warfare, and I play Modern Warfare Remastered once in a while, but seriously though, like, if they're going to come out with the remastered Call of Duty game, I really think they should just come out with the remastered Call of Duty game. There shouldn't be a new Call of Duty game at all that same year. I think it just be the new Call of Duty game should just be the remastered one, in my opinion. That's how I think it should work, because 2 Call of Duty games in 1 year is kind of a lot for me anyway, because I want to try and get Master Prestige in both those games, but it's really hard to if there's 2 Call of Duty games in 1 year, you know. So I just think that's a little bit of a problem. I mean, of course that's something I think they can improve on, but the idea is that they definitely are improving by coming out with remastered Call of Duty games, which I think is a good thing. Another thing is taunts and gestures. I know this really isn't such a big deal, but you know, small features matter. You know, there's a lot of small features that have been like added in Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered that have been pretty good. One of those features, like I said, is the taunts and gestures, which we all know you earn them through supply drops or leveling like your mission team and stuff like that, and you use them at the end of your match. The taunts anyway, but the gestures are kind of like the things you do with your hand, like rock, paper, scissors or something like that in mid-game. But another thing, I didn't even think about this, they didn't add this in Infinite Warfare, but we do have this in Modern Warfare Remastered, is the idea of firing range. That's a very, very small feature in the game, and a lot of people don't actually, I don't think people use that feature very much. But right before a match, if you hover over your creative class and you press the start button, you are brought into a little simulator of that's like a combat training simulator, you know, where you're put into like these different you're put in this room where you can like target practice with that class you just put on, you know. And I love that so much. I love the idea of firing range. A very, very good feature. And the cool thing is, when you press that start button, there's like no loading screen at all. It's just instantly you're like right in there and the firing range. There's no loading screen at all, which is awesome. I really like the idea of firing range, and that's definitely something they should have in every single Call of Duty game. A very, very great feature. I really like it. And you know, there's so much I can say about this. You know, there's so much I can say about how Call of Duty is improving. I've already said a few of those things, and they're definitely going the step in the right direction. A lot of people gave a lot of crap for Infinite Warfare, and they never even played the game, you know. Like, they gave a bunch of crap for it before the game even came out. I mean, yeah, we had the beta, of course, and a lot of people didn't enjoy the beta, so they had some pretty good reasons, because they actually had time to play the beta, so they know what the game would be like. But in all honesty, you know, and when Infinite Warfare came out, a lot of people did not like it at first, but it's starting to get improved more, which is good. So I think more people are starting to hop on back into Infinite Warfare, which is very, very good. I personally like Infinite Warfare. I don't really have any problems with it. There are a couple things that I think they can fix, but I think they're going to work on it later in the future. But you know, Call of Duty is improving, you guys. I really do believe Call of Duty is improving, and those people who say COD's dead and stuff like that, I mean, seriously, look at the sales record for Call of Duty, for crying out loud. Call of Duty is the #1 selling game every single year. Like, seriously, look up the past 10 years. I bet there's only one of those years where Call of Duty was like in second place for the top selling game, and that game would actually be Call of Duty Ghosts. Call of Duty Ghosts didn't actually get very many sales, but all the other Call of Duty games for the past 10 years were the #1 selling Call of Duty game, or the #1 selling video game in general, not just Call of Duty game, but the #1 selling video game in that year. So, I mean, do your research, you guys, because it seems like Call of Duty is pretty popular, and that's probably why there's so many different Call of Duty channels out there on YouTube, is because it's a very popular game. And so, you know, those people who say Call of Duty is dead, they have no idea what they're talking about. They have literally no idea what they are talking about, because Call of Duty is definitely improving, you guys. And this is really it for the video, so I hope you all enjoyed, and comment below what you guys think about Call of Duty. Do you guys actually think it's improving? You guys heard my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours. And also, leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more Call of Duty videos later in the future. And follow me on Twitter if you guys are interested in that as well, because on there I kind of update. I have some updates on my channel that I don't really need to make full videos on and stuff like that, and kind of update stuff on my personal life in case you guys are interested. But anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed, and I shall catch you guys later.